Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, we are not going to talk about the fires yet. What we're going to do is try something a little different. What I'm going to do is read the phases of the moon to you from Wikipedia. I know some people learn this way. I mean, that's kind of how school is, right? I mean, your teacher is reading to you. We're all mostly taught that way, so why wouldn't it work, right? Okay. Alright, so just so you know, what I did is I just clicked right here, contents waxing and waning, instead of having to scroll down here. But see. Alright, waxing and waning. When the sun and moon are aligned on the same side of the earth, the moon is new, and the side of the moon facing the earth is not illuminated by the sun. As the moon waxes, the amount of illuminated surface as seen from Earth is increasing. The lunar phases progress through new moon, crescent moon, first quarter moon, gibbous moon, and full moon. Oh, wow, it's that bad. The moon is then said to wane as it passes through gibbous moon, third quarter, crescent, and then back to new moon. The terms old moon and new moon are not interchangeable. The old moon is a waning silver, which eventually becomes undetectable to the naked eye until the moment it aligns with the sun and the... Wow, so they have typos here. With the sun and begins to wax, at which point it becomes new again. Half moon is often used to mean the first and third quarter moons, while the term quarter refers to the extent of the moon cycle around the earth, not its shape. When an illuminated hemisphere is viewed from a certain angle, the portion of the illuminated area that is visible will have a two-dimensional shape as defined by the intersection of an ellipse and circle, in which the ellipse's major axis coincides with the circle's diameter. If the half ellipse is convex to the respective half cycle or circle, then the shape will be gibbous, bulging outwards. If the half ellipse is concave with respect to the half circle, then the shape will be a crescent. When a crescent moon occurs, the phenomenon of earthshine may be apparent, where the night side of the moon dimly reflects indirect sunlight from Earth. Orientation by latitude. In the northern hemisphere, if the left side of the moon is dark, then the bright part is thickening, and the moon is described as waxing, shifting towards full moon. If the right side of the moon is dark, then the bright side is thinning. Then the moon is described as waning, past full and shifting towards new moon. Assuming that the viewer is in the northern hemisphere, the right side of the moon is the part that is always waxing. That is, if the right side is dark, the moon is becoming darker. If the right side is lit, the moon is getting brighter. In the southern hemisphere, the moon is observed from a perspective inverted or rotated 100 degrees to that of the northern and all of the images in this article, so that the opposite sides appear to wax or wane. Closer to the equator, the lunar terminator, light shadow line, will appear horizontal during the morning and evening. Since the above descriptions of the lunar phases only applies to middle or high latitudes, observers moving towards the tropics from northern or southern latitudes will see the moon rotated anti-clockwise or clockwise with respect to the images in this article. The lunar crescent can open upward or downward, with the horns of the crescent pointing up or down, respectively. When the sun appears above the moon in the sky, the crescent opens downward. When the moon is appears to be above the sun, that's what it should say. The crescent opens upward, just like the first part of it. They left it out. The crescent moon is most clearly and brightly visible when the sun is below the horizon, which implies that the moon must be above the sun, and the crescent must open upward. This is therefore the orientation in which the crescent moon is most often seen from the tropics. The waxing and waning crescent looks very similar. The waxing crescent appears in the western sky in the evening, and the waning crescent in the eastern sky in the morning. So, I hope that helps. I'm sure this might be a low view video, and that's okay. I'm just trying to throw something else out there in a way that it may help someone. When we're talking about the moon doing cartwheels, or the man on the moon is rolling, or the man on the moon is doing cartwheels. I like to say the moon is turning like a clock. Now all that is, as I just described, is from our perspective here on Earth, because the moon is still doing exactly what this is saying. If you were out in space, it would still do this perfectly. But from our point of view here, we are seeing it turn like a clock. Okay? Which they did not describe here at all. When we went through the phases, we went through the latitudes, the hemispheres, and even including the tropics, equatorial. It didn't say the moon's supposed to turn like a clock at 15 degrees an hour, or the man on the moon cartwheeling at 15 degrees an hour, did it? Nope. Okay, now to the awful situation out west. I'm just basically showing you from this satellite view what's going on. Now, from my experience of watching this tool, I have never seen, from the natural color fire product here, filter, never seen flames from the continental view, the continental sectors. That's where we're at. So just going back to it to show you, I've never seen fire at this level, let alone as many as we're seeing there. And that is backing up. Okay, here is sunrise, the sun rising over to the east. So this is this morning. As you can see, it's quite from Washington. I can see from Washington to Central California, possibly one in South Central California towards the coast. We'll find out. So daytime, one thing you'll notice is lots of red, and that's the smoke, obviously. I mean, let's not get crazy on that. That's what it is in this case. We are seeing red all over the world every day. You know, this is, in this case, a lot of smoke. So you saw all that right here. That's all the smoke from that whole line. I mean, if you look at the, alright, let's just do this. Well, open a USGS fault line map. I don't know if I can find that. Let's just do it. As you can tell, I don't ever go to their site. Yeah. Heliplots. Oh, you know. See, that's why I wasn't going to bring it, because I'm not sure. I know you watch Dutch and you'll see this map hundreds of times, so you all know that. Those fault lines are right through here. Because the fault lines were mostly the top of the, when you look at the map, there's like the valley through here. So, and then you have more mountains here and another mountain set here. So that same fault lines in San Andreas and all that, they all run down through here. They're obviously called different. There's just fault lines in general. You got the Wanda Fuka out here. Basically just showing you that these fires are along the fault lines. Whether they were all started like this, I don't know. But some of them may have been lightning. I don't know. I haven't confirmed that because it doesn't really matter. Clearly, the majority of them are on the fault lines and along the volcanoes, and we'll see that. I'm babbling on now at this point. Let's just go in close. I gotta wait for it to finish loading. Okay, there we go. I've never seen so much fire. Hey, look. Someone will say that's dew. I've never seen that, but I know that's not dew. That's some weird reflection somehow, but the military doesn't color their laser and and obviously it isn't going to be much bigger. The laser itself isn't going to be much bigger than your kitty toy. A laser doesn't need to be big. So how would we see it on satellite from, the beam from the side? Can you see the beam from the side of your laser pointer? If you pointed at a wall, can you see the beam? No, you can't. You can see the dot of where the beam hits. You blow smoke through it, sure. You can see it then. But this is a prime example of somebody is saying this is dew, and common sense says, can you see a laser from the side? This is also a satellite. Yes, the military lasers are much more powerful than a laser pointer for your kitty cat, but it doesn't need to be too much more powerful, to do its job of doing whatever they do, but it doesn't make sense that they're starting fires with it because, it just doesn't. Common sense. That's my 2 cents. Okay. So, we do have a lot. Let's jump down to... And usually you can't really see these fires from a sub-regional sector either. Usually you can some, but you really got to get down to the localized to see them. But now the localized is just too tight. You can't it's not useful. You really need a sub-regional, a wider sector now to view anything because there's so many fires going on. Yeah, we do have some, looks like it. Yeah, some here down in central southern California. Yeah, see right there, you can see them. If we go to infrared, that'll show it. Shortwave IR. Boom, boom, yeah. Over here. Did that one show up? Yeah. Alright, so move to here. Oh, it's got to load. Sorry. Okay. The flashing is just... I actually emailed the Call of Duty page about that. They said that scattered light reflecting around through the lens. Which, it makes sense. We just talked about Earthshine. Light reflecting back off of Earth, so why wouldn't... If we can shine light on the moon from the Earth, why couldn't the sun's light reflecting around a bulb put in a little bit of light in a camera lens? Makes, common sense. It's not everything is a conspiracy theory, guys. Not everything. All right, so there you go. This is quite impressive from a scientific standpoint. I'm just at a loss for words mostly. Even right here, you've got one started in western Idaho. Oh, what I do want to show you though is, let's see, I just bookmarked it. It's the Idaho fire map. Let's see. But of course it didn't. I'm not going to go digging through it. This looks good. Yeah, okay. This is even more impressive from a scientific standpoint. We don't need area closures. We don't need trail closures. We just want active fire reports. Okay. Now I've shared this in Catfish Glass Eye. I've even put this on my personal page because this is fact. Okay, these are every single reported active fire in the United States right now. I'll let that sink in a minute for you. Let's zoom in. Notice something here. They're all out west. Guess what's out here? Well, the edge of the Craton Plate runs right down through here. And up around and then comes through the edge of the Appalachian Mountains here. That's, well, just west of it because it's a deformed edge between the Craton and the deformed part of another, I can't think of the term other than Craton, but this Craton doesn't change. Just think bedrock. This think more like soil where soil moves, and this is stone. It doesn't. So yes, the Rockies are here, but the Rockies are there because that area is changing, and that's why the mountains are there. That's the indicator. Anyway, so the part that's stone, no fires. I mean, yeah, you got one or two. Ford, but Texas is a whole new ball game. But out here, I mean, that's where all, like I said, Yellowstone is here. Long Valley Caldera is here. This is all the volcanoes down through here. Obviously from the northern part, from Washington, and they run all the way down to Mexico and through Mexico, but these are all the volcanoes are too. The regular, like, Mount St. Helens and Rushmore. Not Rushmore, but anyways, the volcanoes there. I don't have to remember the names of them to understand what's going on. But, that's the good thing about the internet is if I need an answer, I can go find the facts. All right? So the slow train wreck is gaining speed. Have a good night.